all real life, it's just an illusion. Stumbling inside this maze, sucked up in the darker days. Everything's new, hope it all works out okay. There's nothing left to do, let my heart just guide the way. Stick right next to you. Well, I don't mind rocking you sensations. About intimidation, but don't get me out of here. If I know I'm receiving this, just take the guts and don't be scared. Love will help us through.
It seemed like I had spent an eternity in hell. Once you're dead, you don't have clocks or the sleep and wake cycle to keep track of time. Things seem to stretch on forever. In actuality, I had barely been here 6 months. I was just an ordinary guy living in Japan. I was an artist, much to the dismay of my parents, but hey, I was sort of a rebel. My parents, despite their enormous disapproval, still helped me go through a prestigious art program. I had graduated and was looking for work, with little success. My parents never missed an opportunity to let me know how I could have been a neurosurgeon like my mom or a mechanical engineer like my dad. So, not to give too much personal information, but I loved drawing porn. Specifically, anime porn. I was pretty good at it. Unfortunately, that's a smaller market than the rest of the anime and manga world, so I wasn't optimistic about my chances at getting a job. Then, one day, I got a job. I went through the first round interview, then the second, then the third, and finally got hired at a small startup called Frigid Delights, specializing in my own little specialty. I was thrilled, let me tell you. I was so thrilled, I was happily crossing the street, on my phone, texting my parents, lost in thought. Yeah, not the best idea. I got turned into asphalt pancake by a school bus. Apparently, my death was over pretty quickly, because there was a period of darkness. Then, my soul got sucked out of my body and raced down to hell. I was kinda disoriented, since it was my first time dying. As I approached the imposing gates of hell, I worried that an eternity of damnation and torment awaited me. Needless to say, my worries were for nothing. Hell wasn't all that bad of a place. It certainly was boring. A bleak plane of existence with mostly gray and muted colors. No real torture, other than boredom. The torture appeared to be heaven's propaganda. A lot of unfinished rock work added a spooky and cavernous atmosphere, but there wasn't really much to be afraid of, other than Lucifer. Lucifer spent most of his time brooding and plotting in his throne room alone. Hell's denizens saw him infrequently at best. Fallen angels and dead humans spent their time telling each other stories of their time in heaven or on earth. Those stories had been repeated hundreds, sometimes thousands of times, depending on how long the demons or humans had been in hell. I had died at the ripe old age of 24, so I didn't have a lot of stories to tell. And the stories I did have to tell were boring. In short, my life was boring, and my afterlife is boring. With souls constantly pouring into hell, scribe demons grumbled 24/7 about their workload, registering people into hell's database. Their bitter grunts were entertaining to listen to, but that got old. Sometimes, hell's denizens would shake off their melancholy and have dances reminiscent of the time periods they were alive. Lucifer's hype man, Judas, tries to keep hell entertaining by having karaoke events or scavenger hunts. But the real thing to look forward to was when Lucifer needed to choose a new deadly sin. Deadly sins are pretty interesting. Lucifer places deadly sins all over the world. They're basically just human incarnations of a specific sin they're good at spreading. Lucifer decides when a new one is needed, or if one died and needs to be replaced. He would either have Judas hold a lottery to select the lucky deceased, or choose it himself in rare instances. After someone was chosen, Lucifer would craft them a physical body and send them back to the mortal world, wherever he determined they'd best serve. I didn't know it at the time, but there's several deadly sins the world over. Lucifer follows some unknown set of restrictions, so he doesn't just flood the world with hell's former denizens. The reward for serving as a deadly sin was demonhood. I'm not sure what makes being a demon so great, but a lot of people spoke reverently of the opportunity. Must be good if so many people want it, right? Just like pizza. Anyway, like I said, I've been here for 6 months. I met a few interesting people, among the billions of people here. Yes, billions. Turns out, heaven is extremely discriminating in who they allow up there. Speaking of interesting, here comes Chester. Chester was a roaring 20s all-American guy. Loves to talk about his dame and how much he had to live for, when his life was tragically cut short by a burst appendix. Things happen.
Gosuke! Good to see ya.
Hey, Chester.
So I'm really hoping this time. Maybe I'll be selected this time, and I'll get to see Brooklyn again.
If you're chosen, and if you get sent to Brooklyn at all.
I'm certain Lucifer would allow it if I served well. I'm certain of it.
Maybe. Do we have any idea on when Lucy will choose his new pet?
Oh, my stars! Lucy? You know Lucifer can hear everything here if he wants. You need to be more respectful, Gosuke. Lucifer's given us a new lease on life every time he needs a new deadly sin.
Potential new lease on life. And that chance gets smaller and smaller every day with more souls pouring into hell.
I understand that, but as long as Earth exists, I gotta be chosen eventually, right? Gotta keep hope alive.
I'm not holding my breath. Many of Hell's denizens have been here for millennia and have never been chosen. Just something for everyone to get excited over and then grumble about for a few months.
Shush! Your mouth! Look! Lucifer and Judas have arrived!
Hell! Oh, everyone! Jeez, tough crowd. Who died in here? Get off the stage. So, you've all heard the rumors, and I'm here to confirm them for you. Lucifer has need of a new deadly sin of lust. What an opportunity! Lust has been a cornerstone of the deadly sins. I mean, who doesn't like a little hanky-panky no matter where you are in life? Am I right? Yeah, am I? Yes, lust! Imagine it! A sexual tyrannosaurus! A god of all things carnal! Woo! I'm half wrecked just thinking about it! Oh, God! Whew, just kidding. Or am I? Okay, and with this glorious opportunity comes new benefits. You'll get a fantastic ability to seduce people. It will even help you seduce people who don't want to be seduced. There will be so much seducing. Wow! You could even seduce me if you want. I joke. Knock it off, you perverts. So, in traditional fashion, we've come up with 3 final contenders. Who among these 3 will be reincarnated as lust? A ravenously sexual beast? An insatiable harpy? A domineering force of every bodily pleasure? We'll start off by naming our first contender. Ashley Princeton! Give it up for Ashley! That's right, Ashley. Come on down. You've got just minutes to give a speech about why you should be lust. Be convincing, be demure. Show a little cleavage if you want. Show us lust.
Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm just so honored to be here. Like with Lucifer and Judas. Love you, Judas. And whoa, what an opportunity. I mean, I am totally down to be lust. Let me just tell you that straight out. When I was alive, I was a slut. A big slut. Like, wow. You know how those sorority girls get? I guess that's all I really have to say. I'm so honored for this opportunity.
Ashley, thank you. Give it up for Ashley, everyone. Next up, what's this? I can barely read the name. Just kidding. Have to keep you on your toes. Father Carlson, why don't you step on up and give us a good speech on why you have a burning desire to be the next Lust?
Well, I guess I'd be a good candidate because I had a ton of experience with it when I was alive. You know, the whole celibacy thing. It gets hard.
My oh my, I can only imagine how hard it was. Woo, wowee, what a lineup we've got here. Our last and final contender has a couple huge acts to follow. Kosuke Arai, come on up here and tell us why you're so intent on being lost.
I guess I'd be a good candidate because I used to draw a lot of porn secretly, so I've got that hidden lust thing going on. I'm pretty good at it too.
Whoa! A stunning revelation. An innocent-looking guy like Kosuke up here filling his school binders full of naughty, salacious drawings. Truly magnificent. Now, Lucifer and I will take a moment to talk and decide on a winner then.
I have chosen Kosuke.
Oh, I mean, we've already chosen Kosuke as the obvious choice. Off the stage, Ashley. Father Carlson, you too. Out. Out! Let's hear it for our new deadly sin of lust. Kosuke Arai! All right, Kosuke, we've got a few things to go over. You're going to be the new deadly sin of lust, overseeing Sin City. Las Vegas. What happens there stays there. Truly not a place for a novice. But I'm sure you have things well in hand.
Right.
Okay, so when you become a deadly sin, Lucifer gives you a teensy little test, just to make sure you're going to be able to handle whatever your new life throws at you. Your test is going to be seducing all 6 of the other local deadly sins. You got to get them to love you. And it has to be done within 2 months. 2! No more, no less. I guess less if you can manage it.
What? Love? How am I supposed to get one person to love me in 2 months, much less 6?
Don't be such a worrywart. You'll figure it out, big, strapping guy that you are. Now, first, your new power. You activate this power by inclining your neck and thinking dirty thoughts about the person you're trying to seduce. Woo! Ooh, go on, give it a try. Think something naughty about me. You'll get the hang of it, I'm sure. Not a bad first attempt. I think I felt a jingle in my loins. Woo! Okay, second. You have this handy-dandy hell watch. It's my own creation, and it helps you find where the deadly sin you're trying to pursue is. Just whisper to it, and it will activate. Cool, fashionable, and serviceable.
Cool.
Lastly, you're given the latest model hell phone. That's what I call it anyway, because I'm clever. The hell phone operate anywhere with any service. I originally made the area code 666, but that seems so on the nose. Now it's 69.6 because you're lost. So just make sure you give the area code to any of your potential sexcapades, and they'll be able to get a hold of you.
This is a lot to take in so suddenly.
Lastly, your body is due for retrieval if you fail to seduce anyone. Nothing you do will be considered private at any time, and Lucifer and or I are more than within our right to check in on you at any time to see your progress. If at the end of 2 months you haven't accomplished Lucifer's test, you will be recalled to hell and a new deadly sin nominated in your stead. You are not able to tell anyone that you are trying to seduce that you are a deadly sin until after they have decided they love you of their own free will, void where prohibited. Any questions?
My body? Retrieval? What?
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll cross that bridge when we burn it.
Enough talking, Judas. I am constructing his body now. Serve well, and be rewarded.
I love this part!
Jesus!
Don't you use that language in front of Lucifer!
Oh, Las Vegas. I need clothes before I do anything. People are staring. Excuse me, ma'am. I appear to have lost my clothes. And wallet. Can I borrow some clothing?
Oh my, I suppose, but you will have to return and pay for them.
Thank you.
Follow me.
Thank you for your generosity. Is there anything I can do to repay you until I can find my wallet?
I feel like I should be paying you after that free strip show. Here, you obviously need some cab fare, so here's $10. Just come back and pay for the stuff and we'll be good.
I definitely will. I suppose luck smiled on me to have such an attractive lady cross my path.
Oh my, you're quite the charmer.
Hey. I'm just being honest. But thank you again. I'll be going now. Let's see. I have to gain the current sin's approval. I am now the incarnation of lust. I am in Las Vegas, and I have no resources but this hell phone and watch that shows me where the sins are. I suppose I should decide which sin to pursue first. Let's see. NGN Great Casino is just a little ways away from where I am. Cody Hattrich appears on my phone as a well-dressed man. Let's go take a look. I arrive at the NGN Great. It is extremely crowded. Massive amounts of people form a constant churn of people coming and going. The flashing lights and gaudy decor linger in my eyes. An overpowering smell of cigarettes and cheap liquor assault my senses. There's plenty of loud conversation and beeping slot machines adding to the ambiance. It's kinda jarring. How am I supposed to find greed in this sea of people? I continue to jostle my way through the crowd. Huh? Someone running through the crowd suddenly bumps into me.
Hey, did you hear? We have a couple of celebrities here. They're here to throw down some massive bets on craps. Head over to the high roller area if you want to see some real action.
Huh? Might be destiny. Thank you.
No problem, bro.
Craps, a casino game involving a set of dice. You win on the first roll, if a 7 or 11 is rolled. You lose if 2, 3, or 12 is rolled. Anything else becomes the point. For example, if you roll a 6, that becomes the point. You must now roll a 6 again, before rolling a 7 to win. If a 7 is rolled after a point is established, the player loses. A simple game, with many nuances. My father and mother both enjoyed playing craps, but for low stakes. Neither of them had much stomach for gambling more than they could afford. I'll head over to the table to see if I have any leads on greed from there.
Thanks, everybody, for coming to watch me destroy the casino. They're gonna need to take out a loan from me for all the cash they're about to lose. Who's ready for some of that? You guys ready for some action? Let's start off the betting right. 50 grand.
Little Shorty is such a badass. He's about to run this casino out of business. We're gonna have a wild party with our winnings. Aren't we, Shorty?
That's damn right, baby girl. Maybe I'll let some of the casino staff come too. As payment for this cash, they're gonna drop into my lap. Then maybe I'll drop you onto my lap. What do you think of that?
Not in front of the fans.
I can do whatever I want in front of the fans, and they'll still love me. You ready for some action, Mr. Casino Boss Man?
Your wager is accepted, sir.
As the man behind the craps table speaks, a chill settles over my heart. The calm way he accepts the large bet. The stoic expression, but slightly hiding a smirk. Is that Cody? Is that greed? I struggle to see his name tag, but the jostling crowd and the glare from the lights prevents me. I'll work my way closer as the crowd reacts to the gambling.
Choose your dice, sir. Hey, bitch, pick some dice for me and throw them. You look like you're feeling lucky. I'ma smack that ass with some good luck, too.
Here it goes.
A hush falls over the crowd. The dice clatter on the table. A 3 and a 4. 7.
7. Frontline winner. Hell yeah, bitch. That's 50 grand straight to the bank.
Oh, baby, I need that purse I was looking at earlier. It's only 10,000.
Well, maybe we'll just go get that now, then hit up the penthouse.
Congratulations, sir. A remarkable win.
Oh, no hard feelings. 50K ain't nothing to people like you, am I right?
Certainly, sir. I hope for all of our clients to have such a good experience. Will you continue playing? It seems a bit of a letdown to hype everyone up and leave after one roll.
You alright, my man? We can't disappoint the fans. Load up those dice. We're going big again. 100 grand this time.
An uncomfortable pause happens in the crowd. Then they burst into enthusiastic applause. The silken tongue of the suited man appears to have lured the man into betting again.
Your bet is accepted, sir.
Hell yeah, it is. Who wants to roll? Who's feeling lucky? Is it you? Is it you? Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm feeling lucky. Check this out. 7. Frontline winner again.
Congratulations, sir. Quite the payday. Though I imagine for someone of your status, that's a paltry sum.
Man, you know I make that in a day at one of my concerts. I dropped 50 grand in a club on bottle service.
Oh yes, sir. I am well aware of how rich and famous you are. That's why this is just a game, right? A casual game for men of such wealth. What is your next bet? Would you like to let it ride?
A shiver crawls down my spine. It feels like the temperature has dropped. Everyone looks expectantly at Lil Shorty.
You know it. This is gonna be the final throw, though. Then we're heading to the penthouse to celebrate. Everyone gather, get your energy up. This is a 300 grand bet. That's more than most of you will ever see in your lifetimes. Get that high up.
The bet is accepted, sir.
I feel ill watching this extravagant display. 300 grand is more than 10 years of salary for an average person. Perhaps the gambler is greed?
And here it comes. Let's win this shit. 8. The point is now 8.
An excellent number, sir. Before rolling the dice again, would you like to place odds on your bet? It is the best bet in the house.
Placing odds on a bet simply means adding additional money to the bet for a higher payout if you win. Most people bet more on odds than they do on their original bet.
I think so, boss man. Load us up with a line of credit for another 300 grand on odds. This shit is like taking candy from a baby.
The suited man's eyes glitter momentarily. This must be greed. The passing look of avarice reveals an insatiable desire for possessing everything possible. As quick as the ravenous look came, it passes. The man in the suit calmly nods.
The bet is accepted. Best of luck, sir.
My God, it's so much money. I know. Don't jinx it.
Let's go. I'm gonna roll that fat 8 and laugh to the bank. 7. Take the bets.
I feel so bad for him. Unlucky.
So much money. Gone in an instant.
That's some bullshit. Roll that back. Give me another 300 grand.
Babe, don't you think that...
Of course, sir.
If he loses this bet, he will be down almost $1 million. My stomach clenches in sympathy for him.
I'm about to wipe that loss out. Here goes. 3 craps. 3. Take the bets. That's bullshit, man. Bullshit. I'm out of here with this rigged shit.
Sir, I'd happily comp you a night in the penthouse to make up for the bad luck.
Fuck you, man. I don't need a penthouse. I need my money.
I understand the sentiment, sir. But if you continue to act in such an aggressive manner, I will have to ask you to leave.
Fuck you, con man with a rigged-ass dice and a rigged-ass table.
Security, please escort our valued guest off the premises.
That was intense, but now is my chance to gain his attention, if he is indeed greed. I look to his name tag, Cody H. Gotcha. He's pretty attractive. His smirk makes my pants tighten just a little. He exudes a commanding presence, and everything on his person seems to have been attended to in meticulous detail. This is definitely someone Lucifer is happy with in terms of presentation. I need to speak to him, make him fall for me. Hello, sir. Quite the payday for you, huh?
That is one way to look at it. I view it as providing an entertaining spectacle nobody can view elsewhere.
The crowd was very lively. Seems like people enjoyed watching. Do high rollers come through here often?
Yes. High rollers are common to my casinos, as we will take any bet people are willing to place. Sometimes they win. Most of the time, they lose. Such is the nature of gambling.
Do you enjoy gambling, Mr.
Hatridge. Cody Hatridge. I do enjoy gambling. My tastes run towards the thrill of chance. It is not about the size of the bet, but whether or not someone can afford what they are betting. That is what matters, and what interests me most.
Well, if you're not concerned about the size of the bet, how about making me a bet, not involving money?
A bet involving no money. What else would we be betting on?
How about if I win, I get to take you on a date? Your treat. If I lose, we still go on the date, but I make it up to you in other ways. A long moment passes. Greed seems to be appraising my worth. I do my very best at seeming innocent. No ulterior motives here.
You've got some nerve, if nothing else. I don't need to make a bet with you. I'll just take you out if you accept, Mr.
Adai. Kosuke Adai. Please, call me Kosuke.
I will. Please call me Cody. It isn't every day someone has the balls to ask out the richest guy in Vegas. You're a curious one, Kosuke.
I guess I'm lucky you're also curious.
Come back in a day. I have a lot of paperwork to get through to clear the large influx of money we took in today. I'll be working this area, so just show up before dinner time and we'll hit one of my restaurants.
Sounds like a plan. I'll see you then. I leave, feeling ecstatic at scoring a date with Greed. I have to pass some time though. I wonder what I should do. I decide to go to a dive bar named Ladies in Luck. The bar is a decrepit, smoke-filled hangout in a seedy area of town, where bright lights and gaudy decor serve little purpose. People come here to get drunk, maybe listen to some half-decent karaoke. I'm just gonna have a few drinks and then wander the town. Everything is less stressful with alcohol after all. I step into a dimly lit bar, half filled with local regulars and drunks. The bar is manned by busty women too aged to get a job at a more upscale bar. I approach the bar and sit down.
Hi, honey. You look a little lost. Sure you're in the right place?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm new to the area, just checking out the local bars rather than the overpriced tourist ones.
You got good taste. You want one of our beer specials? It's $3.
I'm not in the mood for beer. Do you have any wine or mixed drink specials?
Honey, I got a bar full of people clamoring for beer. Just tell me what you want.
Okay. I'll take a glass of house red wine, whatever is on happy hour.
Coming right up, sweetie.
I take a look around while the woman stomps off to fill my order. Ladies in Luck is getting pretty full, as more local regulars get off work and stumble in. Everyone seems disinterested in each other, most of the patrons preferring to forget their sorrows by tending to their drinks privately. I see a few women in some revealing clothes dancing drunkenly on a countertop. If they died in those clothes, they'd show up in hell wearing those clothes. I shake my head, clearing thoughts of hell from my mind. I'm alive now. No use thinking about Lucifer and his domain. For now, anyway.
Here you go, sweet cheeks. 1 glass of grapes. You just let old Donna know if you need anything else.
Thank you. I sip the wine. It tastes decent. To be honest, I'm not much of a wine enthusiast, so I wouldn't know good from bad anyway. I drink it slowly, over the course of an hour.
Hey, kid. Yeah, I'm talking to you, asshole. You think you're better than me? Coming in here and drinking wine like some rich kid? Huh? Is that it? Yeah, that's what I thought, pretty boy. You mind your business, or me and Frank here will have to teach you a lesson about acting better than people. You understand?
Oh, of course, sir. I definitely understand. I'll try to be a bit better about that in the future.
You're damn right you will. You owe me an apology.
Sorry about that, sir. I didn't mean any harm.
That's damn right. Kids these days thinking they're all so high and mighty, I swear.
Al! Are you giving this kid a hard time? Get out of here before I have to drag you out by your ear.
Oh, Donna. You don't want to give me a goodbye drink? One for the road?
You've had more than enough. Get out and leave my customers alone.
He seems nice.
Hun, this city has so many people with so many problems, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone that doesn't have one vice or another. That's why people live here. Easy access to feeding their demons.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I'd say if you can control your indulgences, there's not much of a problem, right?
Sweetie, there ain't nobody alive that controls their vices. That's why they're vices. But if you got a handle on yours, that's good. Because most people end up broken by theirs before the end.
That's such a grim outlook, Donna.
Hey, you live here as long as I have. That'll be your outlook too. I got some other customers to tend to, but thanks for chatting with an old lady. Your drink is on the house. This time.
Donna winks and stomps away, loudly taking orders from the latest bedraggled vagrant that stumbles into her bar. I get up after writing thank you on the bar napkin. Hey, free drink's nothing to turn your nose up at. I walk out into the chill morning air. It is very early morning. Not a bad night spent killing time. I should consider freshening up before Greed's date. I decide to go get some food. Maybe I'll practice using my lust power while I'm at it. I'm starving, but don't want anything expensive, so I head towards Hot Diggity Dog, a fast food stand that serves different kinds of hot dogs. There's not much of a line, so I go to the window. Inside is an overworked cashier that looks grateful for the break in business. Hi, how's it going?
I'm okay. How are you?
Oh, I'm starving. What kind of hot dogs do you recommend? I look at him. He's just a young, timid guy, but seems nice enough.
Oh, well, I got all kinds of hot dogs here. My favorite is the extra long cheese dog. Oh, I guess I do. I like them too.
Yeah, I'll bet you do. Would a naughty guy like you want to take a break?
I think I would, but I'm at work.
Unfortunate. Maybe I can come back when you're on break. But in the meantime, I'm pretty hungry.
Oh, don't worry about that. We aren't busy. Here, have one on me.
You're such a cute boy, and very generous. I really appreciate it. I'll come back and see you if I can.
It's nothing. Thanks for the compliment. I'll be on the lookout for you.
I leave the hot dog stand, the cashier beaming happily. Even if nothing comes from using my deadly sin abilities, they still seem pleased to have interacted with me. At least that's good. Happiness can be a currency all on its own. I take my hot dog and walk away, taking in the lights and crowds. There's plenty of time to kill still, so I decide to just sit and eat. Cars and crowds by the thousands pass me by as I sit, pondering the state of my life. Eventually, I shake myself from my daydreams and head back towards Greed's casino. I woke up today invigorated and excited for the date with Greed. I took a short swim before getting dressed. I'm feeling somewhat anxious because I don't have expensive clothes or money for expensive food. So I guess I'll just see what Greed wants to do. I want to impress Greed, but how? I walk through the casino and head towards the craps table, where Greed had said he would be. I pass many old people who are throwing their twilight years away on slots or card games. They don't understand that they'll soon be in hell, and nobody in hell wants to listen to slot machine stories. I shake my head to clear those thoughts. How dramatic. I approach the craps table to see Greed dressed, less gaudy. He's not wearing his usual accessories. He must have somehow known I don't have a huge wardrobe and didn't want to make me feel bad. That's sweet of him.
Ah, there you are. Ready for a night on the town?
I sure am. Where should we head first?
Well, I own 5-star restaurants of every type. I figure we can start off with a little dinner and see how the night goes. What do you say to dinner at my luxurious Bistro Marsala?
That sounds great. I smile at Greed. The night is starting off well.
Fantastic. Let's be off then. Bistro Marsala is here in this casino. I will get us a private table.
We walk towards the restaurant, with Greed pointing out things along the way.
I suppose I can give you a tour, since the restaurant is a bit of a long walk away. Over there, you have the blackjack tables, Each one pulls in $10,000 a day in profit average. We have 36 blackjack tables operating daily here.
That's quite a lot of money.
Yes, it is quite interesting what gambling does to the psyche. Obviously, our main source of revenue comes from slot machines. Those can bring in millions on their own if it's a busy weekend night.
How many casinos do you own?
All in all, I own 22 casinos. I want to own all casinos in Vegas, but some people cannot part with their casinos out of the misguided belief they can compete with me. Eventually, I will drive them out of business and purchase their casinos at a fraction of the current cost.
Haha, that's pretty intense. You want to own all of Vegas. That would be a considerable achievement for anyone in one lifetime. Greed stops and looks at me, an odd smirk quirking his lips.
I'm not interested in owning just Vegas. If given the opportunity, I would own all gambling cities and move on to the world from there. Why not? Some people's ambition in life is simply to enjoy physical sensations until they pass away. Believe me, I want everything.
Greed's eyes glitter, but it is quickly replaced with his professional demeanor.
Thank you. Too many people don't understand ambition. They foolishly believe in concepts like fairness. Here we are. Bistro Marsala. Alexander, I'd like my private table. For me and an up-and-coming gambler.
Of course, sir. I do have to point out the dress code.
We'll make an exception this time, Alexander.
Of course, sir.
After you, Kosuke.
A thrill runs up my spine as Greed says my name in his silken voice. All sorts of inappropriate thoughts race through my head. Thank you, Cody. Alexander leads us through the restaurant and up a flight of stairs to arrive at Greed's private table. It overlooks the city, surrounded by a large multi-pane window. The restaurant is all luxury, from the gold-tinged silverware to the cherry-carved wooden tables, to the hundreds of actual candles burning to light the area. I'm impressed.
Alexander, what are the specials today?
We have two, sir. A lovely veal marsala served with asparagus, and a pasta carbonara, one of my favorites. Here are your menus. Shall I bring a bottle of wine while you peruse?
Yes, make it something very special. I haven't been on a date since Father's untimely passing. Work matters. You know how it goes.
Of course, sir.
I'm sorry to hear about your father. What happened?
Not to worry. It has been several months now. He passed peacefully in his sleep. If you do not mind, I wish to say no more. Here is Alexander with our wine.
We have a rare 1727 Rudesheim wine, purported to be the oldest drinkable wine, if you will sample it, sir.
Alexander pours Greed a small amount. Greed picks up the wine stem with finesse, used to having a fine drink in his hand. He swirls it and inhales deeply, glancing at me.
This wine is near impossible to get. A famous cask from that era, known as the Judas cask, is never tapped into except to give as gifts to important politicians.
That's extremely rare, and an interesting name, the Judas cask.
Indeed. A bottle of this may go for hundreds of thousands of dollars. We may never know, as it has never been sold. A single glass is worth more than most people make in a year. And it is all for us. Truly an incredible thought, is it not?
Greed's eyes glitter as he takes in my expression. I'm dumbfounded at the flagrant display of wealth, but also kind of eager to try such a wine. Can many people say they drank a year's salary in a day? I am astonished and flattered that you've chosen to make this night so special.
Of course. The wine is acceptable, Alexander. Serve us.
Alexander fills my wine glass, and then Greed's. After a moment of indecision, I decide to have the pasta. Greed opts for the veal marsala, and Alexander slinks off to the kitchen, leaving us alone.
So, tell me about yourself. Are you local, or just visiting here?
I am local. I just moved here, actually. Looking for a new start in life. Technically true.
Oh? You seem young as it is, and yet you want a new start?
Well, I graduated college and couldn't find much work where I was living, so I moved looking for opportunities.
Interesting. And have you found any opportunities?
I found you, didn't I?
I love it! So brazen, so honest! I do admit, you had me curious about you at the craps table, and I am very interested to see what else you're about. Tell me more.
Well, I graduated as a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I'm pretty handy with illustrating things, especially manga, which is Japanese-style comics.
Fascinating. But I suppose there's a reason for the stereotype of starving artist, hmm?
Unfortunately.
Not to worry. There's plenty of opportunity here in Vegas. But come, on to happier thoughts. How old are you? I'm going to guess 23?
I take a sip of the wine. It's pale and smells strongly of old apples. The taste is strong enough to surprise me, but not altogether unpleasant. Not something I would choose to drink, but greed's generosity demands I drink it. Close. I'm 24, but I'll be 25 in July.
I see. I know I look young, but I've just turned 29. Not quite the youngest billionaire ever, but a respectable showing. I got there as soon as I could.
Well, since I've answered some of your questions, I guess it's only fair you answer a couple of mine.
I'm all ears. This casino. It is where I spend most of my time and energy. It is the largest, the busiest, the most luxurious I own. Everything here, down to the tiniest of details, has been attended to. No other casino can come close to the service provided here. If I had to choose a runner-up, I would say Cloud9. Cloud9 is a unique combination of gambling and smoking. It is strictly for high rollers and people who have been vetted by my staff. Gamblers are offered complimentary cigars, marijuana, whatever their heart desires. The entrance fee is 20 grand for a day. A small, exclusive den of iniquity, one might say.
That sounds exciting. Aren't you worried the police will find out about that eventually? Greed smirks and takes a sip of his wine, then another.
Fortunately, the police are on my payroll. I expect no problems to be forthcoming anytime soon. Perhaps when the current chief resigns, but I've found money solves any problems life can throw at you.
That's quite true. I'm impressed by the reach you have. Perhaps your goal of owning the world is something someone with influence like yours could pull off.
We can never know until I try. Ah, here is Alexander with our food.
The pasta carbonara for our esteemed guest, and the veal marsala for you, sir.
It looks perfect as always, Alexander. Thank you.
Of course, sir.
Alexander slips away softly. The food placed in front of us looks like something out of an advertisement. Everything has been carefully placed on the dish and swirled together to make art out of food. Greed's dish looks equally as impressive, a dish that ordinary people will never lay eyes on. I drink the last of my wine and set my glass down, intent on my food. With a snap of his fingers, Greed signals Alexander, who must be waiting nearby. Alexander comes over and immediately fills the glass again. Oh, it's okay. I don't need...
Oh, but I insist. It isn't often I find myself enchanted with such company. I'm enjoying myself, as I hope you are. Please have another. I insist.
All right. That's quite generous. We both pause for a moment to take the first bite of our entrees. Mine is delicious, as expected. The food is outstanding.
Yes. Truly a testament to the excellence of my casinos. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I am very partial to Italian food. What about you?
I love most types of food, but I have to say, you can't beat a good pizza, no matter where it's from. It's the perfect food. You get most of your food groups, it's filling, it's delicious, and to those of us that aren't billionaires, it's usually affordable.
I see. Quite passionate about pizza. Well, I own over a dozen pizzerias here in Vegas. Perhaps we could try one on our next date. That is, of course, if you're interested in a second date. I'd hate to presume.